So my name is Dale Archdekin. I am the founder of Smart Sales Coaching. And I'm going to show you our website where you can get more information about who we are and what we do. We specialize in scripting and dialogue training for agents and ISAs. So real brief 30-second backstory on me and why you should listen to anything I have to say is I was in production as a listing agent. So I got into the business, started taking listings, working for sale by owners, expired listings. I know most of you are Canadian and you can't do stuff like that. That's okay. Point being, I did a lot of outbound prospecting to the point where I was able to take 5 to 7 listings every single month regularly. And then I partnered up with somebody in my market in the Philadelphia area. So I'm in Philly. And we scaled a team to the number 2 in the market. So we went from doing about 100 transactions a year to doing almost 700 transactions a year. We became one of the top 5 KW mega teams. Part of what I did there with that team, part of the way that we scaled it is by building, optimizing an inside sales department. Does anybody, by show of hands, not know what inside sales is for real estate? Do you guys all know what real estate inside sales is? It's where you pay people to work your leads for you and set appointments. And it looks like my internet is unstable. Am I back? Give me a thumbs up if I'm good. Okay, cool. So in building that inside sales department and optimizing it, what you have to do, because it's expensive, you're paying a base salary to these people to work your leads and create appointments for your agents to go show houses or to take listings. That's expensive. You have to get these ISAs to be able to convert enough leads into appointments that turn into deals, to be able to more than pay for themselves, but not just pay for themselves, actually make a profit, right? So what I developed was a training system where I could take a stranger off the street with no real estate experience, right? As long as they had sales experience, and I could teach them our strategies and techniques and give them our average mix of leads, and they could produce 60 plus transactions in their first 12 months. That's an average of 5 contracts every single month. About 8 years ago, I took that system and those processes and I created my own coaching and training company. So part of what I'm going to be teaching you today is the scripting and dialogue training that we used for those ISAs and that we have now developed and refined, because over time in building this training company, we work with some of the top teams and agents and brokerages around the US and Canada, to the point that like 3 out of the top 5 on the Real Trends 1000 list are clients of our training company. This is why you should listen to me. Is that good enough? Is that sufficient? You sufficiently prepared to listen to what I'm saying? Good, excellent. So you can see more information here at our website. And at the end of today, once we get through this and we do a little bit of role play, I'm going to be making an offer to you guys on a free skill assessment. So one of the things that we've discovered in training agents and ISAs over the course of time, training salespeople, is that there's 4 key elements that you probably are struggling in at some point right now, and that are having the biggest impact that's preventing you from setting more appointments or getting more deals. Those 4 elements are your introductions, how you get into a conversation with a lead or a prospect, your objection handling approach, how you handle objections, how you break them apart, how you deal with them, your ability to articulate your value proposition, and your ability to tee up and close or set logical appointments, close for logical appointments, right? Those 4 elements. And we do a thing called a skill assessment where you can have a private meeting with one of our trainers for 45 minutes, and they'll test you in those 4 areas, give you immediate feedback on where you can improve to get more appointments set and to be able to close more deals. Does that make sense? Shake your face up and down if that makes sense. God, this internet signal sucks. I think it's my laptop. Am I back? No, I'm back. Yeah, sorry guys, it's me. I've been dealing with this all day. All right, so at the end of this, I'll offer you guys a way that you can get a free skill assessment. It'll just be a poll that I'm going to run, and you can say, yes, I want to do a free skill assessment, or no, I'm already the champion of the universe, and my sales skills are as amazing as they can possibly get, right? All right, so let's talk about, we're talking about crushing objections today. One thing that I want to tell you guys is I do a podcast called Cash Call. So a lot of what we do in sales training is reviewing calls, reviewing recorded calls from salespeople and giving them feedback on what they're doing. Because it's one thing for me to teach you something and practice it here. Eva loves Cash Call. That's awesome. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. We got a fan. Eva, you need to be a guest on Cash Call. How does that sound?
Thinking about it.
Thinking about it. Okay, good. Eva, drop your email address into the chat, or you can chat it to Emily, who is my admin here, and I'll hit you up outside of this. Basically, everybody, if you go check out Cash Call, I'm going to show you where you can find it. Because if you want more training beyond what we're going to do today, this is a really excellent way to get it, as Eva can attest to. Let me share my screen. Okay, put this thing away. So if you want to go check out Cash Call, basically, it's on YouTube and you can get a lot more free training by going to our YouTube channel. Just make sure that you subscribe to help us grow the channel. And Cash Call is where we're reviewing these calls, breaking them down and giving advice. So even if you hear me giving advice on somebody else's call, you're probably doing some of the same things or you've run into the same situation or scenario, so you can implement that training for yourself. And here's what you should do. You should be a guest on Cash Call with me. And all you have to do is submit 5 recordings. And I don't know if you know this, but I charge $1,250 an hour to consult with people, to train people directly. So you can get a free hour of training with me, which is a $1,250 value, if you come onto the Cash Call show and we play your recordings and I give you a personal one-on-one call review session as a trainer. So that's a huge benefit for you. And you get to learn something. You just have to be willing to be a little bit embarrassed, I guess. I'll make it good. We won't be painful. It's gonna, I'm not gonna be disrespectful in any way or hype it up in any way. I'm gonna give you good, constructive feedback, but it is gonna require an emotional sort of willingness on your part to, one, listen to yourself in a recording, and two, to get feedback on where you can improve in your sales. So if you're brave, which you need to be in this business, jump on the show. All you have to do is drop your chat, in the chat here. You can message Emily or say that you want to be on the Cash Call show, and we'll do a free coaching session with you. Okay. Let me go over here. So we're talking about objection handling today. And what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be teaching you a process, but first I want to solicit from you guys, what are some objections that you're running into? And I'm going to write those down. I guess I'll just make a note over here. Let's talk about some of the objections you're running into, because I'm going to teach you a process for unpacking simple objections. Then I'm going to teach you a process for unpacking a little more complicated objections. And we're going to practice that. We're going to practice it on some of the objections I have prepared. And then I want to take some suggestions from the crowd as to other objections that we can work on. So let me get a document here that I can write on, and you tell me, chat it in or unmute yourself and tell me what are some of the objections that you're running into. Who's first? What's an objection?
One objection that I've got is you can just send me an email.
Send me an email. Okay. And they're saying just send me an email when you say what to them?
Like, they sign up for some project and then they say, oh, what is this about? Just send me the floor plans and pricing. I'm talking about the new construction.
Okay. So they want information on new construction and you try to do something else and they say, just send me the info.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Good. Thank you for the suggestion. Who else? What other objections do we have, everybody? Why should I hire you when I can buy from the listing agent? Okay, great. Right. Why should I use a buyer agent? Or I'm going to use the listing agent. Good. What else? What are you guys dealing with? What's the most recent one that stumped you?
I've got two. The first one I put in the chat, but sometimes they say, I'm driving, can I call you later?
Okay. That's not really an objection, but we'll,
Well, no, like, as in, like, I can hear they're not driving though.
oh, okay.
Like, they're
Well,
actually not driving. Like, it's, they just don't want to talk to you. So, you can hear like the kids playing in the background, maybe the TV on, usually you can tell if someone's in the car.
okay, interesting. All right, what else, guys?
Well, the market is going to crash. So the
The
prices
mark,
are
the market's gonna crash. I love that one. The market is gonna crash. What was, somebody chatted one, let me see here. It was prices are too high. There was another one. Hold on, let me open the chat. I have to interview more agents. Okay, great.
Can I ask you, um, when I get some leads of buyers, one thing I do is I just don't just take them to show properties. I want to speak with them. I want them to, I'm speaking from Canada, so I want them to sign the BRA.
Mhm.
And without that, I don't want to waste my time. But one objection I get is, we don't want to sign anything, just show me the property.
Okay. AJ, I want to make this, let me make this as clear as I possibly can. You know that offer that I talked about reviewing calls with you and anybody?
Yes.
The most important thing we can do, because listen to me, everybody, I'm going to teach you theory. I'm going to teach you concepts, okay? There is no replacement for us actually listening to how the conversation went, because all of you salespeople, in a lot of cases, when you don't get the result that you want, or you don't get the next step that you wanted, probably about 80% of it is what you did or didn't do as the salesperson that causes you not to get what you want. Do you understand that? So AJ says, I don't want to just show you the house. I want to meet with you to talk about a buyer rep. And they say no. Well, I guarantee you, if I listen to what AJ did or didn't do, he probably didn't set it up the right way, or he executed that ask in a poor way, or they weren't ready or open to hear it, or there wasn't enough reasoning for it. There is so much that comes down to how you interact with people and how you read them that makes a massive impact in the results that you get. I can help you far more if I can listen to the conversation that you had with that person to break down both sides. And so that you can listen to it too. Because when you're in it, you don't always know or can't always see the perspective, that third party perspective, third person perspective. Does that make sense, everybody? So AJ, we need to listen to your calls, okay? And I promise you, if we do that, I'm going to improve your ability to get that BRA signed.
Okay.
Okay. Good. All right. So I got a bunch of suggestions here. Let's talk about very simple objections first, okay? When people say just looking, just getting started, not interested, or whatever it may be. And for the most part, this is like when you're contacting internet leads or whatever they may be, PPC leads. The simple stuff is, like I said, just looking, getting started, not ready yet. You want to just go to a simple question. So I want you to, guys, I'm going to teach you the concept of past tense, present tense, future tense. All right. Sales typically is future tense based, right? When do you want to move? When do you want to buy? When do you want to look at homes, right? When do you want to get your home on the market? Those are future tense questions. That has a lot of sales pressure to it. Past tense also would be things like, what made you want to look for homes in the first place? What made you want to make a move? What made you want to sell your home, right? Those are past tense questions. And when you're talking to a consumer, they can feel, wait, first of all, what do we all do for a living? We're salespeople, right? Yeah. Now, in your day-to-day life as a consumer, if you're not ready to buy something or you don't want to get a question answered, do you want to talk to salespeople? No. Why not? Why not?
Because there's no urgency.
Right. But more importantly, salespeople try to make you do things. They try to change your mind. They try to get you to buy things, right? Isn't that what a salesperson does? Yeah. Okay. So if you don't want to buy something or you're not ready to do it yet, you pretty much avoid salespeople at all costs, right? That's what we all do. Okay. Now, I want to give you that piece of perspective. Being in that perspective, when a salesperson tries to pull you into the future, what are they trying to do? They're trying to get you to make a buying decision or to do something, right? When a salesperson tries to pull you into the past, what are they trying to do? They're trying to find your motivation for something. They're trying to find your pain point. You as a consumer can feel it when they pull you into the future or when they pull you into the past, right? That raises the level of sales pressure. Do you guys understand that? Now, the best kind of questions that you can ask to lower sales pressure would be present tense questions. We all live in the present tense, right? We all, right now, we are all living in right now. That's present tense. Where do you live now? What are you interested in now? Are you moving or are you here already? Do you own or do you rent? These are all present tense questions, right? And it's the lowest amount of sales pressure that you can put on somebody. So I just wanted to teach you about past, present, future so that you can be aware when you're structuring questions that if you're dragging somebody backwards or you're pulling them forwards, they can sense it. And if they're objecting to you, if they're saying, no, not with you, not now, right? Not under these circumstances, then their awareness to your sales pressure is even higher. So they can feel it even more. So with super simple ones, right? Hey, ring, ring, Eva, this is Dale. I saw that you registered on my website. Are you planning on buying in the next few months or just window shopping? And Eva says, oh, I'm just window shopping, just getting started, right? Not ready yet. Whatever that initial objection is, those easy, simple ones, then I'm just going to ask some present tense questions. And I'm going to give you 3 simple present tense questions you can ask. The first one being, oh, Eva, do you live in the area or are you relocating here? Anybody can answer that question for you, right? They can tell you whether they live here or not. That's one. That's a super easy one. Another one, Eva says, oh, I'm just window shopping for now. I'd say, great. What neighborhoods are you interested in? Or what communities are you interested in? Whatever your word is for your local market, right? That's an easy one. And notice I didn't say, what neighborhood are you interested in or what community are you interested in? Because that's finite. That means that you've made some decisions. I said, what neighborhoods or communities, plural, are you interested in? Which means your options are still open. Pretty much anybody can answer that question for you. That's a present tense question. Here's a third safe question you can ask. She says, oh, no, I'm just window shopping. I could ask, oh, got it. Do you currently own your home or are you renting? That's a present tense question, right? So that's what you want to do into the face of just looking, not ready, getting started, window shopping, whatever it is. Do not, for the love of God, ask them a time frame question when they say just looking or just getting started. Okay? Because when they say just looking, just getting started, not ready yet, they're literally telling you, I don't have a time frame. So do not ask a time frame question. Does that make sense, everybody? A lot of salespeople do that. Remember those calls I was talking about that we should listen to so that I can help troubleshoot a lot of stuff you do? If you listen to some of the calls that I listen to, frequently what I'll hear is the lead gives some variation of not yet, not ready. And the salesperson will say, oh, got it. Well, when would you like to make a move? Or when do you see yourself being in your new home? And I'm like, me and the lead are both like, oh my God, this person's not listening. I just said, I don't know, right? And the salesperson keeps trying to pull me into the future into when I'm going to transact or do something. So don't do that. Good. Okay. Let's talk about the more complicated objections when people give you some sort of piece of story, right? Hey, I'm not going to be doing something until this time for this reason, or when I do something, it will be with this person and not with you, right? I'm going to use the listing agent instead of a buyer agent, or now's not the right time to buy, rates are too high, prices are too high, whatever they want to say. Let me show you some slides here before we start doing this. And I'm going to talk you through, and I want you to understand the psychology here. If I could find my slides. There we go. Oops. We're having different technical difficulties everywhere today, everybody. All right, so let me just talk you through the psychology, and then we're going to practice this. When it comes to objection handling, notice I said that one of the 4 key critical areas is how you handle objections. Most salespeople and most sales trainers focus on, out of the 5 categories of stuff that you need to do, skill sets around objection handling, they typically focus on the bottom 4 and not the top 1. They typically focus on disputing or educating or pitching and especially closing, right? And so pitching and closing are big. When somebody's saying, not you, not now, not under these circumstances, right? Not at this time, whatever it may be, what they're actually thinking is, hold on. Oh, shit, it's not on here. What they're thinking is, I am right and justified in what I'm saying to you. Please, I don't try to change my mind, and hopefully this ends the conversation. That's what the lead is. That's what the lead's thinking when they object to you. When they start objecting and you immediately dispute or try to educate them or try to pitch them or try to close them, 1, you don't learn anything about their decision-making process, so you can't help them with it, right? 2, it runs absolutely counter to what they want. Notice I said the prospect, when they object, is thinking, I'm right and justified about what I said. Don't try to change my mind, and hopefully this ends the conversation. So instead, pretty much the best thing that you can do is learn how to ask really great discovery questions to understand how they're making decisions before you try to change it or get them to take any other course of action. Do you understand that? Okay. One of the problems is that most training companies don't teach you how to ask really great questions, but we do. We work on asking great discovery questions. And we do that by this thing called the question game, and we're going to play it today. So this is a training tool that we use, and we have some rules in the question game. So what's going to happen is I've got some objections. I'm going to read an objection to you, and I have some rules. You have to ask me a question, but the question has to be direct, not indirect. So let me use this example. Let's say that I sell green apples, right? And Ray, can I call you Ray, or is it Raymond? Ray. So Ray's here on my top left. I'm just going to pretend I'm talking to Ray. So I say, hey, Ray, do you want to buy my green apples? And Ray says, no, I don't want to buy your green apples, right? An indirect question to Ray might be, well, what kind of fruit do you like? Who cares what kind of fruit you like? I only sell green apples. I don't have any other fruit, right? A direct question might be, well, Ray, what's preventing you from buying my green apples? Or Ray, how did you decide not to buy my green apples? Ray, what about my green apples makes you not want to buy them, right? Those are direct questions to how he's making decisions. Do you guys understand that difference? Does that make sense? Shake your faces up and down if it does. Okay, good. So that's the first rule. It has to be direct, not indirect. No closes, right? I say, hey, Ray, do you want to buy my green apples? He says, no, Dale, I don't want to buy your green apples. And if I said, well, Ray, if I give you a great deal on these green apples and I throw in a napkin, would you consider buying them? That's a close, right, everybody? It's a pitch and a close. And then Ray might say, no, you idiot, I'm not buying your green apples because I'm deathly allergic to them. Oh, okay, well, that makes sense, right? So no closes. You have to ask a question to understand the person. And I can't make them wrong. Don't make me wrong. So I say, Ray, do you want to buy my green apples? He says, no, I don't want to buy your green apples. And I say, well, Ray, if you know your fruit, like I know fruit, then you would be clamoring for these green apples. Does that make him right or wrong in not buying them? Wrong. So we're not going to make him wrong. Don't use the word why. Why would we not use the word why, everybody? When in your lifetime has anything started from another human being with the word why directed at you and it was positive? Almost never. Why is confrontational, so we're not going to use the word why. Okay? You have to just change your question to not use the word why. You can use what, who, how, when, whatever you want, but not the word why. Because this person's objecting to us. When you tell a salesperson, no, not now, not with you, how much longer do you want to talk to that salesperson? How much do you want to be debated by that salesperson? How much do you want to be questioned by that salesperson? Not at all, right? So we're not going to use a confrontational word like why. And I don't know if you guys have seen some trainers teach, oh, well, just ask, tell me more. Anything they say, just ask, tell me more, or some variation of that. My argument is that that's lazy. I can teach you how to formulate much better questions using the prospect's words effectively. And the only time that you'd want to use something like tell me more is when you can't come up with a better question. Okay? So these are the rules of the game. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with this one. We're going to start with a couple easy ones, and then we'll circle back to the ones that you guys gave me. And then at the end, before we end for today, I'll show you guys how you can get a free, quick skill assessment with one of our professional trainers. I'm not buying until next year. Let me do this. Here's what I want to ask. How many of you, by show of hands, how many of you want to improve your skill set to the point that you can sell double the number of houses and make double the amount of money? Raise your hand. All right, you've just said that you're going to be my role players. Good? Because you want to improve your skills and you want to sell more houses. Good job, everybody. All right, so we're going to ask me a direct question to understand me. We'll start with Raymond. Raymond, I'm not buying until next year.
Why aren't you, oh, sorry, wrong one. Okay. Why aren't you going to buy until next year?
Okay, great. Good first question. Now let's get rid of the word why. Okay. Same damn question. Don't use the word why.
Yeah.
Ray, I'm not buying until next year.
What is working against you, Dale, that would put it off till next year?
All right, what's working against you that would put it off till next year? Round of applause, everybody. Ray went first. He broke the seal. Good job, sir, in potentially, stepping out there and doing it in front of a bunch of strangers. Megan, I'm not buying until next year. All right.
So what's stopping you from finding your perfect property now?
What's stopping you from finding your perfect property now? Okay. Let's talk about what you did. All right. What do Ray and Megan have in common in their two questions they asked? Maybe you're not ready to find it.
They are direct.
Go ahead. What was that? Is it ball?
Yeah, they are direct.
They are direct, but what else? Does it sound like they agree with me?
They are presenting an argument.
What's that, Maria?
Argument. They are starting an argument and not being a salesperson, just starting an argument.
They are subtly disagreeing with my position.
Exactly.
Yep, they are subtly disagreeing with my position and making it a negative thing, right? And also, Megan also mixed in a little bit of pitch in there, right? What's stopping you from finding your perfect home? That was pitchy. That was clearly persuasion. Okay. Now, the reason I'm pointing this out to you guys, remember how I said that when a consumer is objecting to you, I mean, first of all, consumers are already highly sensitive to us as salespeople, right? And if the prospect is saying, no, not now, not with you, and you try to do this stuff where you don't agree with them, or you want to change their mind, or you want to try to pitch them, they can smell you coming. Do you guys understand that? So we want to be expert salespeople, not just good salespeople. We want to be expert salespeople. So we're going to get rid of some of that stuff. So let's keep going around and see if you guys can ask me a question that's not negative or doesn't try to persuade me. Let's go with Oliver. Oliver, I'm not buying until next year.
Absolutely not a problem, Dale. I'm actually curious what's happening over the next year that's going to be preventing you from buying right now.
Almost, man. What's the one word, everybody, that made him reveal that he's a salesperson?
Preventing.
One word. What?
Preventing.
Preventing. Yeah, Oliver, is preventing positive or negative?
It's negative.
Negative. What does it suggest you want me to do?
Buy now.
Buy now. I see you coming, Oliver. You see that? You could just get rid of that one word, man, and it would change the trajectory of your question. Good. So I hope you guys are getting this. And it is that nuanced when you're talking to people. Okay. All right. Let's go with Eva. Eva, I'm not buying until next year.
Okay, Dale. What's important to you about buying next year?
I feel like Eva might have seen some training before. Good job, Eva. What's important about buying next year? Is any part of that negative? No. Is any part of that leading? No. Is any part of that persuading? No. Right? Does any part of that try to make me wrong? No. That is pure discovery that does not make me wrong or try to persuade me. Understand? I feel like I've been a long time salesperson, long time. I started selling credit card insurance in a call center in high school when I was 18 years old. So here's what I can tell you. I understand emotionally as a salesperson, the desire, almost feeling like we have to try to move the person forward at all times, or we have to try to get them to agree with us, or we have to try to get them to do what we want them to do. I've now grown and matured as a salesperson and my experience that I realize that you only want to do that selectively. You only want to do it when the time is right. And especially if somebody is saying, no, not now, not with you, you have to stop and say, oh, okay, you've got a worldview. You've got a set of parameters and decision-making that you've made already. You have considerations, you have perspective, you think it's going to get you something or help you avoid something. I got to stop and understand you like you understand you, because right now, this battle is unfair, right? It's unfairly weighted against me. You know what you think, prospect. You know how you're making decisions, prospect, right? You know what's important to you or what you think you're going to get. And I don't know those things. So now I need to stop and just understand you. You guys understand that concept?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, good. Nippon. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yep. No, that's good.
Okay. Hey, I'm not buying until next year, man.
Okay, Dale, is there a specific reason why you want to delay until next year?
What's the one word?
Why?
No. You said,
Delay?
is there a specific reason why you want to
Delay, yeah.
delay? There it is, right? Let's do it again without the negative word. Nippon, I'm not buying until next year.
So can we still use why? Is it okay to
Well,
use?
I think you can use it in the way that you did it. You didn't ask why are you delaying until next
Okay,
year.
yeah. So I was gonna ask, is there a specific reason why you want to wait until next year?
Wait. Get rid of wait, man. Can you do it without the word wait? And Nippon, I'm not buying until next year.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm lost. I don't know what
Why
else.
can't we just use the same words and get rid of wait? Is there a specific reason why you want to buy next year?
Okay.
We just got rid of the word wait, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Got rid of the word delay, got rid of the word wait. This will take your skills to the next level, everybody. All right, so that's a simple one. Let's keep moving on. We're gonna make it harder, okay? Are you guys getting this? What do you think? Isn't it crazy how you have to actually practice this in order to make it work? So here's some, I think we covered these, right? What's important about buying next year? Look at this. I'm only working on one screen right now. It's so hard to do. How did you decide to buy next year? Is there an advantage to buying next year? These are just some other suggestions. Let's go to this one. I'm not ready to work with an agent. This one is often triggering. Who wants to take this one of my role players? Let's try AJ. AJ, I'm not ready to work with an agent. You're muted, sir. You got to unmute yourself.
Oh, hello. Yeah. So you don't want to, you're not ready to work with an agent right now. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I said.
Is there any specific reason for that?
Is there any specific reason for that? Good. I think that's a good crack. Try using my words. So, AJ, I'm not ready to work with an agent. Ask me your question and use a few more of my words, okay?
Mm-hmm. So you're not ready to work with an agent.
Right.
Is there any reason for that?
Is there any reason you're not ready to work with an agent? I just
Right.
wanted you to use my words.
Is there any reason that you don't want to work with an agent?
Not that I don't want to, that I'm not ready. Is there any reason you're not ready to work with an agent?
Is there any reason that you're not ready to work with an agent?
Yes, there we go. I'm pushing you to use my words because it's more powerful. It means more to the person if you use their words back to them. Okay, so you asked a good question. You have the right approach. I just wanted to get you to use more of my words.
Okay.
Good. Okay. Let's see. And also, I would recommend not always repeating their objection back to them.
I learned that from another coach long time ago.
Yeah. Think about it as a consumer.
Yeah.
Think about it as a consumer. When you reject a salesperson or you tell them no, not yet, not with you, and they repeat it back to you, what do you feel like that salesperson is about to do?
He's going to use all tactics to get me.
Yes. The salesperson is thinking about how to argue with you or thinking about what to do next or how to change your mind. So it's not a great concept to repeat the objection back to people. Usually the only time that you want to do that is if you do it and you formulate it as and you're doing it because you want them to give you more free information and you don't exactly know what question to ask. So I'll give you an example, everybody. We teach a process when somebody says they have an agent that they're going to work with, right? Oh, hey, thanks, but I'm already working with somebody, or I have an agent that we're going to use. In our process, we do ask it back. Oh, you have an agent? You have an agent that you're planning to use? And we stop because into the face of an agent question, I have an agent, there's a lot of different questions that we could ask, right? Which way should we go? There's so many different questions I could ask. So we use that paraphrase and go up on the end to get the lead to tell us which way the questioning should go or what they think is most important about the person that they have or where they're at. Does that make sense? That's about the only time when we use that paraphrase specifically. Otherwise, with objections like this, I'm not ready to work with an agent, you can formulate a better question and you don't have to repeat it back to them. Okay, good. Ray, I'm not ready to work with an agent.
Okay, Dale. So is there a particular reason why you're not ready to work with an agent?
All right, I like it. Good question. Megan, I'm not ready to work with an agent. You're still muted.
Oh,
There we go.
Okay, then no problem. Is there a reason why you're not open to working with an agent?
Is there a reason why you're not open to working with an agent? Yes, there is. Okay. All right. I'm going to let that one pass for now. Eva, I'm not ready to work with an agent.
That's fair, Dale. When do you think you might be ready to work with an agent?
Great question. When do you think you might be ready? Nippon, I'm not ready to work with an agent.
Okay. So do you know all the benefits that come with working with an agent?
Uh-oh. Hold on. You still see my screen?
Yeah.
You asked, do you know all the benefits to working with an agent? Which of these 5 did you just do? Do you know all the benefits to working with an agent?
Second one, disputing.
No, I would say it's pitching.
Okay.
That's an implied pitch. Do you know all the benefits to working with an agent, right? Yeah. Could also be a little bit of educating. Which one are we focused on? Discovering. Okay.
Yeah.
Why are you not ready to work with an agent? And whatever other questions you could come up with. So let's do it one more time. So Nippon, I'm not ready to work with an agent.
Okay, so you're not ready to work with an agent. Could you please let me know why?
All right. I don't know. I think what do you guys think? Should we get him to do a better question than that?
I literally had someone told me same thing, like he's not ready to work with an agent, came to an open house I did, and I think that's what I did, and it wasn't the right thing to do.
Okay, that's why we're training here. All right, so we're going to get you to ask a better question. What did you just ask? Can you let me know why? Is that what you asked?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like it's too blunt. I feel like it's obvious that you want to argue with me or change my mind. Yeah? Okay. Let's get some other suggestions here, and then I'm going to show you guys some options. Oliver, I'm not ready to work with an agent.
Dale, is it that you're not ready to work with an agent or that you don't want to work with an agent?
All right. So are you trying to clarify, or are you, what is it? What's the purpose of that question?
I'm trying to clarify because I'm trying to understand if they're just not ready, it's not the right time, and they're not there yet in their sales process and their buying process, or is it that they just want to be a sole contributor at this point where they're not even going to be looking to use an agent, they're going to be representing themselves.
So let's say I answer that question by saying, I'm not ready. Now we're back to the same thing I just said. What would you ask me?
Then I would ask can you clarify more in terms of why you would not be ready to work with an agent?
All right, let's do it in role play and see how it sounds. Hey, Oliver, thanks for the call, man, but I'm not ready to work with an agent.
Is that you're not ready to work with an agent, or you're going to be representing yourself?
I'm just not ready.
Okay. Is there a reason that's preventing you right now from working with an agent?
All right, everybody, what does Oliver want me to do? Work with an agent now, right? Because he threw in the preventing. Is there a reason that's preventing you? Yeah, but you can't tell them that. You know, if you want the deer to eat out of your hand, you can't tell it that you want to eat it, right? Okay.
Can I talk?
Sure, of course. Maria, I'm not ready to work with an agent.
I'm gonna assume that you say with any agent, but I am different. Can I talk with you why I am different?
Nippon, what elements did she just demonstrate there?
Pitching.
Pitching and closing. You just pitched me and closed me for a result, right? Maria, did you learn anything by saying what you said? Did you learn anything about how I make decisions or what I think?
No.
No. The name of the game. You got to understand me, okay? Can you ask me a question that helps understand me? Maria, I'm not ready to work with an agent.
I'm not any agent. I am a special agent, and I'm not gonna make you close any deal. I'm just gonna show you properties and help you to make a decision. It's up to you when you want to buy that house, or now or next year. I'm just here to help you.
That was a lot of words. What did you learn? What did you learn about me, Maria, in everything that you just did?
But you are not ready to work with an agent.
That's what I said. You didn't learn anything more than that.
Exactly.
Would you like to learn something about me? Would you like to understand me better before you pitch me?
Yeah. Of
Okay,
course.
then
That's
ask
what
me,
we do.
ask me a question. Maria, I'm not ready to work with an agent.
I would like to know the reason for that decision.
Oh, there it is. Third time's a charm, baby. We got Maria to ask me a question. Now you will learn something by asking that question. Good job, Maria. Okay. All right. You guys are making me work hard today. Let me show you some examples here, right? I'm not ready to work with an agent. I can't see my screen. Gotta move this over. Here's some suggestions. When would you be ready to work with an agent? That's what Eva asked us, I believe, right? When, what about working with an agent are you not ready for? Right? How's that as a good question? Would you like to know the answer to that one? When you say work with an agent, what do you mean? So before, sometimes when I teach this and I have more time, I'll go around the room and I'll say, hey, when somebody says work with an agent, what do they mean? And you'll give me an answer and you'll give me a different answer and this person will give me a different answer and I'll get like 10 or 15 different answers. And then I'll say, okay, I've got 15 different answers for what work with an agent means. How do you know which one that lead means when they say it? And eventually the light bulbs go off and people are like, oh, I don't know which of the 15 they're talking about. Maybe I should just ask them, right? How does that sound? Isn't that shocking? So that you can understand them better. Okay, let's, I think I wrote down some of your objections. So let's ask some questions about your objections. What time is it? Oh, we're running out of time. Sorry, guys. I still got to tell you about the skill assessment and see if you want to do it with us. In fact, here, I'm just going to run the poll. I'm going to run the poll. If you want to do a skill assessment with us, you can just say yes. If not, you can say no. And basically what will happen is we'll send you an email that has a link where you can book a Zoom call to do a free skill assessment with one of our trainers and get feedback on your skill set and where you guys can improve. So I just ran the poll. At any point you can say whether you want to do that or not. I wrote down these objections you guys gave me. Let's see. Market is going to crash. All right, here we go. The market is going to crash. Let's do that one. Who wants to ask me a good question into the face of the market is going to crash? So let's set it up for you. Raymond. Hey, thanks for the call, Raymond. We're not buying now because the market's going to crash.
So Dale, I'm curious to understand what makes you think the market's going to crash.
All right, good question. Eva, I'm not going to be buying now because the market's going to crash.
Okay, interesting. And what led you to the thought that the market was going to crash?
All right, good. Nippon, thanks for the call, man. We're not going to be buying now because the market's going to crash.
Okay, so what do you mean by market is going to crash?
Look at you guys, you're experts now asking these questions, man. That's fantastic. I love it. This is the real test. Let's see if Maria can do it. Hey, Maria, thanks for the call, but I'm not going to be buying now because the market's going to crash.
Okay, when do you think that the market is going to crash?
Oh my God, even Maria, good job. I have now earned my paycheck today, everybody. Nobody's paying me, but I feel accomplished as a sales trainer now. Thank you, Maria. Good job. All right, let's do another question. Let's go to, why should I use a buyer agent? I'm just going to use the listing agent, right? Why should I use well, that's a question. That might be a little advanced for you guys. Let's start with a statement, right? I don't need a buyer agent. I can work with the listing agent. How about that? All right. Megan, I don't need a buyer agent. Hey, thanks for the call, Megan. I don't need a buyer's agent. I can just work with the listing agent.
Yeah, no problem, Dale. I understand your thoughts on that. But there are many advantages to using a buyer's agent, including protection. Oh,
No. Which of the 5 are you doing right now?
pitching?
You're disputing and educating and headed directly for a pitch and maybe even a close. Are you going to learn anything about me and my decision-making by what you're doing right now?
No.
No. Okay. Learn about me and my decision-making. Megan, thanks for the call. I don't need a buyer's agent. I can just work with a listing agent.
No problem, Dale. Is there a reason why you are not open to working with a buyer's agent?
All right, that's fair, but I think in the context, I said I don't need a buyer's agent. I can just work with the listing agent. So if you listen to the words that I said and you ask, is there a reason you're not working with a buyer agent? It could become cyclical back to what I already said, which is I can just work with the listing agent.
Okay,
So,
is there a reason why you only want to work with a listing agent?
hey, there we go. That's a good question. All right, so let's do it again. Use that question. Hey, Megan, thanks for the call. I don't need a buyer's agent. I can just work with the listing agent.
No problem, Dale. Is there a reason why you want to only work with a listing agent?
All right, good question. Good job. All right, everybody. So I hope that you're seeing the importance here, right? Maria was like stuck in pitching and educated and arguing, and in some cases, Megan also gravitates more to the pitching and arguing and disputing type of stuff. And even Nippon, right? Kind of he tends to be a little more argumentative. And so I want you guys to understand. Notice the difference that we're making here. You don't lose anything by asking good questions. You don't lose anything by letting the lead be right a little bit longer. Do you guys understand that? It's kind of like, have you ever talked to somebody who's really stupid and has like very narrow opinions about politics or religion or whatever it may be, right? And the more they do this, the more you figure out about them and how they look at things. Yeah. Think about it that way with your prospects and your leads. If the prospect is saying, no, not now, not yet, not with you, be like, okay, I see you. Come on, keep telling me some stuff. Let me figure you out. The more I figure you out, the more likely it is that I can shift what you're going to do or when you're going to do it or who you're going to do it with. Right? That's the game that we're playing. You guys understand that? Okay, good. Now, so I dropped the poll. We've got 13 out of 23 people who said whether or not they want a skill assessment. This is your last shot to get a free skill assessment. Basically, it'll be private. You don't have to do it in front of a bunch of other people. We'll jump on with a trainer. They'll do some role play to see how you get into a conversation. You can surprise the trainer by using some of this question-based magic for objections when they test you there. How to articulate your value and how to close for a logical appointment. So jump on with one of our trainers, and then from there, if you want to do training with us, they'll tell you what your options are. If not, you can say, hey, thanks for the advice. See you later. So if you want to do the skill assessment, you just have to click the 3 buttons that say more, go to polls or quizzes. Margaret Harrington. Margaret is uber multitasking right now. Margaret, do you want to do a skill assessment with us or not?
I've already done one.
Oh, all right. How was it?
It was good.
Should everybody here do it?
Yes.
All right, good. Now you can go back to multitasking.
Tweak what you were doing.
Thanks, Margaret. All right, good. So if you haven't filled out the poll yet, click whether you want to do it or not. Looks like I got 10 people so far that want to do a skill assessment with us. All right, I got to go for today, everybody. I think I've done like 5 hours of training so far, and I'm exhausted, but hopefully this made an impact for you. Hopefully it's made a difference. Unmute yourself. Give me one takeaway from today. Let's give it to
questions.
Who's that?
Jatinder.
Jatinder, what was your takeaway?
Asking good questions. Learning to
Excellent.
ask good questions.
Excellent. Raymond, I think you
Yeah, the discovery piece that we focused on helps you understand where the client is at and gives you something to work with.
Excellent. Anybody else get a takeaway from today? Maria.
Discover the reason why the person make a statement to work with, not to take it from granted or thinking it's an aggressive or it's I hate this person. No, be open and discover the real reason. Sometimes there's something new to learn every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. Good to see you. Have a great day.